Hello there. This is the VictorPrep Vocab podcast, episode number 35. Good morning, or good evening, or good day to you, wherever you are. Let's start, as always, by reviewing the words from the previous episode. Those were emulate, to match or surpass another person, typically by imitating them. So you're trying to emulate someone's achievements. Polemic, that is a strong verbal or written attack against someone else or something. Furtive, that means attempting to avoid notice or attention, typically because you've done something bad, so you feel guilty, or you believe that to be discovered would lead to trouble. And our final word from last time was scintilla. That means a tiny amount of something, a trace of something, which could be a physical thing, or it could be a quality or feeling. Our first word for today is disseminate. That is spelled D-I-S, dis, S-E-M, sem, I-N-A-T-E, innate, disseminate. To disseminate means to spread or disperse something widely. Now, that could be a physical thing, like dispersing seeds across a field, or it could mean to spread information. So, if you were trying to spread some information around your local town or city, you could be said to be disseminating that information. Some synonyms of disseminate are spread, circulate, distribute, disperse, promulgate, propagate, publicize, communicate, or make known. The internet is an amazing tool for disseminating information around the world. You can use Twitter, Facebook, all of these different tools for spreading information around, for disseminating information. Our second word is esoteric. It is spelled E-S-O, T-E-R-I-C, teric, esoteric. Some people pronounce it esoteric. It's an adjective, and it refers to information that is only understood by a small number of people. That is, extremely specialized information or specialized knowledge. So, if you imagine someone who's been studying a subject for a very long time, let's say Stephen Hawking, he's a famous physicist, he knows a lot of esoteric information or esoteric information. That is, information or knowledge that is only likely to be understood by a very small number of people. Some synonyms of esoteric are abstruse, obscure, arcane, recondite, and abstract. You could imagine a wizard like Gandalf in Lord of the Rings or Dumbledore in Harry Potter also knowing a great deal of esoteric information. These wizards who've been studying for a super long period of time, who know all this secret information, secret, hidden knowledge, that information or knowledge is esoteric. It belongs to a select few individuals. Our third word is enervate. It's spelled E-N-E-R, V-A-T-E, vate, enervate. Enervate means to cause someone to feel weaker, to feel drained of energy or vitality. So, imagine you have extremely noisy neighbors. They're making noise all night, playing loud music, whatever, and you wake up and you feel enervated. That is, you feel drained of energy, you feel weaker because you had a very bad night's sleep because of your noisy neighbors. Or let's say you were training for some sort of athletic competition, like a running race or football game or whatever, and the night before or the morning before, you ate breakfast and the food was bad. So you got some mild food poisoning, and then you had to try and run a race. That food poisoning would probably enervate you. It would cause you to feel weaker, to feel drained of energy, to be less strong. Some synonyms of enervate are exhaust, tire, fatigue, devitalize, drain, weaken, enfeeble, debilitate, or incapacitate. So, enervate is a word that comes from Latin, and when you have words that come from Latin that start with the E, it often implies out of. It implies a sort of movement away from something. So, enervate, the meaning of the word comes from E, meaning out of, and a Latin word nervus, which means sinew or muscle. So, enervate comes from E, out of, muscle. So, enervate means out of muscle, out of strength. Don't forget that enervate is a verb, so you would use it by saying something like, "Oh, that long and boring geography class completely enervated me." Our fourth and final word today is xenophobia. Xenophobia. It's spelled Xeno, xeno, Phobia, phobia, xenophobia. This word comes from Greek, and it means an intense or irrational dislike or a fear of people from other countries. So this is kind of a sad word, really, to be afraid or to dislike people just because they come from a place different to yours. It doesn't necessarily mean they have to come from another country. It could mean they just come from a different place in the same country that you live in. But it definitely means an intense or irrational dislike of strangers. So, I hope you don't know anyone like that. But if you do know someone who dislikes people just because they're a stranger, then that person could be said to be xenophobic. There aren't many words that mean exactly the same as this, but a few words that are similar are nationalistic, jingoistic, isolationist, ethnocentric, and perhaps even racist or prejudiced. Like I said before, this is a Greek word. It's a two-parter. Phobia is from the Greek meaning fear, and xeno is from the Greek meaning foreign or strange. So the word literally means fear of foreign, fear of strange. Those were our words for today. Let's quickly review them. Our first word was disseminate. Disseminate. To disseminate means to spread or disperse. Something could be something physical, but often means information. And to disseminate means to spread that information widely. Esoteric, that means knowledge intended for or likely to be understood by only a small number of people. Enervate, that means to cause someone to feel drained of energy, to weaken them. And our final word was xenophobia. Xenophobia. That is an intense or irrational dislike or fear of people from other countries or strangers. Now we'll move on to the example sentences, where I give you 4 example sentences, each of which refers to a word from today, and you just have to work out which sentence refers to which word. I want to spread the word about my podcast, but it's a great deal more difficult than I originally anticipated. The day after running the marathon, Kate felt absolutely exhausted. She didn't even feel strong enough to get out of bed in the morning. Roger never left his country to go on vacation. Sadly, he was afraid of meeting new and different people. The alchemists of the Middle Ages shared a great deal of obscure and secret knowledge, but kept it secret from the Catholic Church, which viewed their studies with suspicion. So, Disseminate, Esoteric, Enervate, and Xenophobia were our words for today. If those meanings aren't completely clear in your mind now, take a second to concentrate, think, relax, think about the meanings. Feel free to listen to the podcast again, and be sure to pause when appropriate and think up some example sentences. Think of some incidences in your life where you might use those words. Think of examples amongst your friends, amongst your family, events in your life where you would use those words. That's the key. Thank you all very much for listening. I'm Sam Fold. Please feel free to contact me at sam.fold@gmail.com. I say this every episode, but I do really want people to email me. It makes me happy. It gives me encouragement to carry on making the podcasts, even though I'm super, super ridiculously busy with work and various other life stuff. So please do email me. I love it. Even if it's just to tell me that I could be doing better, because, well, we could all be doing something better, so no big deal. Anyway, thank you all so much. I will speak to you soon. Bye-bye.